2022 International HillClimb Cup Virtual Hohenstein-Berg Rennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Astig Sim Sport, ESTV, and Motorvision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Yeah, I can hear you. What, we're on now? Hello everyone.
I'm sorry about that, Yusuf. I had a Windows update on the PC that I was supposed to be on Teamspeak with you on, so I couldn't tell you that we were live. I tried to text you in the text messages and everything, but
Okay.
well, you know, we're on.
Well, hello everyone. We are getting ready to jump on in for some hill climb action now. Something cool about hill climb is you've got cars that are going up hills. The drivers can see, but I sadly cannot see right now. So I'm going to help myself to see. And then once I can do that, I should actually be able to do some wonderful commentary for you guys.
Right now it's the qualifiers that are on, so everybody's trying to set the best possible time in order to fit into the kind of sequence of when the cars go up the hill. There we go.
And with that, look at that.
I see
you guys
I see
have
Yusuf.
my
I'll make it
wonderful
so you guys can see him as well.
camera. Now, all that's left for me to do is to get up my notes. Because we have Andras Rosival making his way up now.
You know what, Yusuf, it doesn't look like he's entirely serious about it. He's like throwing the car from side to side just to get the tires hot. Don't know what this is about.
Oh, we'll see when he comes across the line, whenever that will happen to be. I'm not quite sure how long the lap is here in Austria.
Or if I read on the loading screens, I would have known. I would have been able to help you on that, Yusuf, but I can't remember. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to find Andras' name on the standings because I can't seem to find it. So now I'm questioning whether... Ah, no, I have found him now. He is your championship leader.
Yeah.
Having won every single round so far. The Spaniard, the only Spaniard in category 2. And here's BMW E30 Turbo. Ooh, that got some airtime over that bump. The wonderful thing about having the hill climb being on sim racing is the fact that the drivers actually get to drive on the hill climb beforehand. So they have a chance to get used to the track a lot more than you would in real life. Sadly for Andras Roosevelt, maybe, or Andras Rosival, maybe he has not had that happen to him before. Also, I said for some reason that he was Spanish and in the BMW E30 Turbo. No, he is Hungarian in the Tattoos Master. But he has won every single round, just like Javi Rodriguez, who is in the BMW E30 Turbo and Spanish. Different category though. I mean, still in category 2, but is in the E2SH rather than the E2SS class. And this E2SS class are 4 drivers in total. As Roosevelt continues to make his way up the hill, runs wide, but critically he avoids that bollard, which could have had a bit of damage, or could have caused a little bit of damage to the car. But it does just look a little bit sketchy, kind of all over the place. It's a long lap. Honestly, what this sometimes reminds me is I'm from the countryside. Well, seeing this doesn't remind me that I live in the countryside, but seeing this reminds me of when my dad sometimes drives his car around the countryside. He drives in, let's just call it a matchbox car. You can have lots of fun, but then you're driving a sports car and you can't do a lot. Very hard suspension and it just dies over bumps. And maybe that's the case for these open wheel cars, as Andreas Rosival completes his lap and is in second. So for Andreas Rosival, this will be the very first time that he does not win a hill climb event. As we see a new car.
Problem here, it's not updating the actual driver name.
Isn't
That's
Andreas
not
Rosival.
Nope.
It also makes me... I saw it was a Greek driver. I saw the flag, but I could not read enough of the name. Oh, running wide into the grass as well. But he keeps it going, and this is why, in my opinion, right, I quite like seeing these cars going around the track more than the open wheel cars, because you can do that. You can get a little bit more aggressive. You can get a wheel into the grass and really ride these jumps and, well, do that. How he did not end up in the trees, I do not quite know, but he is flinging this car around like an absolute madman.
It's Pedro Alvarez, by the way.
Pedro Alvarez in Category 1, the E1 plus 2000 class, currently sitting second in the championship. One win to his name, 2 third places. But there's another car in front of him, and this is not what you like to see in a hill climb event. So something must have happened to that car, so that car should get out of the way, but actually it's thrown Pedro Alvarez off. And well, it's thrown him off the cliff as well. Bye-bye, Pedro. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
I was waving at the monitor here, Yusuf. I was just waving, seeing him go over the edge. Oh, sad.
Poor Pedro.
Okay, I think that was qualifying over. All cars have now reset.
Okay.
So I think we're ready for the first run.
So, just remind me, Peter, do all drivers get one run?
I was about to ask you if you've spoken with John to ask him, because usually there's 3 runs.
Okay.
And then you take the combined best times of 2 of the runs or the combined best times of 3 of the runs. And it's usually so that the longer the stage, the tougher the stage is, then you're going to take only the 2 fastest times.
Okay.
And when it's a short stage, it's all times counting. But I don't know the rules for tonight. But while we're waiting for the first driver, let's have a look at the standings, user.
Oh yes, let's have a look at the standings. Where do we want to start off with? We're going to look at the team
standings,
championships, and it's AMP who leads. Oliver Toth, Andreas Pollebauer, 50 points over in Austria, full points, and then second place, 43, and they've got a commanding lead over JY Canary Island. Javi Rodriguez and Yerav Hernandez, 35, 29, 29. GSR team, Antonis Paparinopoulos. I actually did that pretty well first time. I'm proud of myself for that. And then Valadis Karalis, 36, 36, and 18 on 90 points. Then you've got E-Alliance in 4th with Mark Best and Pedro Barbosa on 85, a further 5 points behind GSR team. Then RH Canary Island, the second of the Canary Island teams, down in 5th. We then head down to Sauros Racing and Junior Dash Racing Dash team of Philip Raab and Philip Gertner. They're on 72 points ahead of Alzenberstorf Motorsport. I don't know, I want to give the full German accent. Alzenberstorf. I can't do it, I'm going to give up. Racing Team Blast. Sorry, okay. I give up and then I jumped from 8th to 10th. I can't forget about Equip Regal in 9th, Sebastian Ronat and Eric Tatol. Then you've got Racing Team Blasel with Marcus Blasel. I wonder where they get that team name from. And Jürgen Strasseger. 100% pronouncing that wrong, but he can't shout at me, so I'm fine. Then we've got Joe Bartlett.
By the way, Equip Regal, they are the champions from last season.
Wait, who
but it seems that only Sebastian Ronat has been able to put points in for that team this season, in this Winter Cup season. So that's
Eric
why
needs to pick things up. Come on, chop, Eric. Actually, I don't know if Eric's been racing, because if he hasn't, then he can't really do too much. Jobart team in 11th, 12th. PLFC, Ludovic Calvet and Patrick Fossev, 27 Motorsport in 13th. Team Dress 2 and 14th, BH Canary Island down in 15th, the lowest of the Canary Island teams. Then you've got Team Dress in 16th, AC Schweinfurt in 17th, ahead of Autocrush.gr. Well, with a name like that, maybe that's why they haven't been picking up too many points. And we've got Team Reunion. Well, they had their reunion in the opening round and since then didn't pick up any points. Swiss JPS team in 20th and last. And then we've got our categories. Now, there's a lot of categories, so I'm going to try to speed run this. Category 2, the E2 SCSS 3000. Sebastian Renat leading in the only Osella FA 30. Maybe it's a bit of a car buff going on there. Ahead of Mark Best, Leo Huart, Philip Gertner, and Francois Karati. Then in category 2, we have the E2 SS 2000, Andres Rosival in the Tatus Master, Agios Andre Pedro Barbosa, and Chris Bennett is your ordering in that championship. Then we head down, still in category 2, to the E2 SH Plus 3000, Javi Rodriguez, Valadis Corrales, John Spider, Nikos Saknias, Philotheos Argurio. That does not sound like a very German name, I'm going to be honest with you. And then we've got John Canelopoulos in 6th. Then we head down into category 1. Now this is where things get a little bit closer, and we like closer. So category 1, E1 plus 2000, Tobias Berstoff ahead of Pedro Alvarez, 13 points between the pair of them. Then you've got Antonis Paparinopoulos, see, I can't see the full name. I'm going to guess it's Antonis Paparinopoulos. Yeah, I think so. Ludovic Calvet ahead of David Desperez. Then you've got Jose Alvarez, Josue. I've never seen that Spanish name before. Josue Barroso, Yere Hernandez, David Aguaron, Carl Shigerm, Flo Nielu. I can't pronounce. My French is terrible, I'll be honest. This is where you need Alex Goldschmidt.
Flomle.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce.
And by the way, David Depré is Belgian, so that would be French as well. So that's David Depré.
Ah, David Depré. There we go. Right, I'm going to have attempt number 5 at pronouncing Flo's name, which is Flo Melu.
Yeah.
Frederick Tecker.
Awesome.
Frederick Tecker. He's got Teckers. Pacheles Angelopoulos. See, I can do the Angelopoulos, the Opoloses, which is the Greek.
Frederick Teixeira.
Andreas Valle.
I'm trying to help you, Yusuf.
And then Frank Dupier. We'll just go
that
with
might be Dupier.
Look, if we go on to the next category, no one will notice. This is the group special. Oh no, there's more French drivers at the end that I'm going to have to pronounce their names. Anyway, we'll deal with that when we get there. Andreas Polebauer, Philip Rabe, Mitko Christov, Julen Galparsoro, Louis Lacroix. Oh, I nailed that one. Bruno Guedes.
Except it's Lacroix, but okay. I'm killing you, Yusuf. I'm sorry.
No one was going to notice, Peter, until you brought that up.
Until I brought it up. No.
Okay. Hector Rodriguez, Marcus Blasel, Juanma Fuentes, Todor Kostadinov, Nicolas F. Statui. I'm pretty sure that's a Cyprian flag. Allman Rudy, Badaiko Alvarez, Jürgen Dies, Denis Lopez, Victor Cabello, Damos Salonika, Oscar Pasto, Dennis
But we're out in a bit of a hurry, Yusuf, because Sebastian Runner is going up the track right now. So
okay, should we just go to Sebastian Runner?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Pick up on the standings.
Honestly, we've literally turned the HillClimb into a milky cereal attempt to pronounce names and fails spectacularly. But as you mentioned, Sebastian Ronnet heading up in... This is the Group H special... No, it's not. This is the E2 SCSS 3000, the Acela FA30, your championship leader. first out onto the hill. And not only is he climbing the hill, but he's climbing the barriers as well. Now he's climbing some speed after that very close moment. That's happened very early on, and that can always just put a bit of nerves on you and make you just be a little bit hesitant through the rest of your lap, not wanting to make any more mistakes, as again, it just looked like he was a bit out of sorts as he headed into the braking down towards the hairpin.
This is a Winter Cup series, so I don't think the drivers practice as much as they do for the regular proper season.
Okay. By the way, our wonderful viewers can hear you, right, Peter?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Well,
I'm here to keep you company.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be terrible if it was just me, I'll be honest. I barely know anything. At least you know something about the car.
Do you know the numbers in the categories? Do you know what they're for?
Can I guess?
Yeah, do it.
Is it how loud the engine is in decibels?
It's close. It's the cubic centimeters, like the volume.
Oh, okay, of the engine.
Of the engines. So 3,000 plus is 3 liters and higher. 2,000, if it says just 2,000, it can't be more than 2 liters.
So my car, what would my car be in? Yeah, my car's not allowed in, sadly. My car's a 0.98 litre car. Sorry, 0.998 litre car. So gotta get that one right.
That would do well down with the VD loopholes and stuff like that. Don't we have ups?
My car might do well on the hill descent, but not the hill climb. Yeah, that's...
Time is tougher.
Quite liking watching this Acela, because we are seeing actually quite a few of the cars really struggling under some of the braking zones, because it is so bumpy. The car just skitters around because the tires just can't find the right level of contact with the surface, so you can't slow the car down and it skitters, and as a result it does make it quite easy to outbrake yourself and run right into a barrier. Well,
but these are some of the toughest. These are definitely the fastest and the toughest car. In the championship, by far.
See, the thing that's confusing to me is it's Category 2 and not Category 1, and it's fast as Category 2, and that throws me off a little. So, because in my head I thought, oh, Category 2, yeah, there'll be a category below Category 1, but no. We've got another E2 3000 out on circuit. Was that yeah, that is an E2 3000. I can't quite see which driver that is. Ooh, really dropping down into that little
That
dip
is Herbert. He's not in the standings. That'll be a new driver for this evening.
Maybe I'll turn this into a pantomime. All of our viewers say, ooh. Just like in George of the Jungle.
There's no front name either, or first name either, so I don't know.
It's just Herbert.
It's just Herbert.
Yeah. Honestly, commiserations go out to him. It's really hard when you get born and your parents are just like, the doctor says, so what are you naming him? And your parents are just like, who cares? Leave it blank, leave it blank. We'll deal with it later. Next thing you know, 15 years pass and people just start calling you blank. Or just call you by your surname.
And if he's French, the leading H, of course, isn't even said, so his parents didn't even bother giving him a name where all the letters are actually spoken. The T in the end isn't said either, so it's just a bear.
But maybe he can just take the H that's silent and throw it in for his first name, so it can be H bear.
Maybe.
Or maybe that works.
He is going quite fast, though.
I wish we had split times.
I wish we could have timing at all, but it seems like it's not really. It doesn't want to cooperate. And
is that because I'm here on the broadcast that at the time it's like, you know what, this Milky's first time, let's make things extra difficult for him by removing the timing screen?
I'll say there are everything concerning overlays is browser based, and there are issues with the browser inside of Open Broadcast System right now. Because I see it's getting all the data and everything. Oh, that is a crash and a half here. I'm up.
Oh, no, he's exploring. It's fine.
And that isn't a bear. That's somebody else. No.
It's quite a nice. I like the livery. It reminds me of the old F1 Toyota. white and red, Japanese colours.
I will very, very quickly pull up the car selection panel here and say that's Philip Gardner.
Okay, Philip Gardner. Philip Gardner is actually doing... Okay, I'm a level with everyone. He's not doing very well in the season so far. I do apologise, Philip, if you're listening back, but he's finished 4th in the 2 races, or the 2 hill climbs that he has completed, both of which there were only 4 competitors, so he has finished last. Let's see if he can go one better this time and maybe take some points away from Mark Best, possibly, as that is a very slow looking car of Flo Muller. No.
I think it was involved in a crash now, just before we picked it up here.
Muller. Honestly, I kind of hope that Alex Goldschmidt is tuning in, because right now his ears will be in so much pain from me mispronouncing French and German words that there is no way he will be able to resist the temptation of joining TeamSpeak and correcting
Definitely
me.
going to react.
I can just see it happening.
So far we got Sebastian Ronnet leading the charts in the E2 3000 with a 344.9, and then it's our friend Bear with a 359.9. Third in that category is Mark Best with a 408.4, so pretty spread out in the 3000s so far.
That's Tobias Bergstoff, who just wanted to have a little flip. So in a lot of esports, Peter, we like to say when someone does something risky, where it's like it could end up really good and help you, or it could go badly. So for example, like taking too much curbing in a corner, it could like gain you loads of time, or it could flip your car. We like to call that a coin flip. And Flo Muller really coin flipped it there.
I think because it's such a long stage, they've only got 2 of the runs counting tonight. So what they're trying to do is just gun it on the first run and see if they get a good time.
But now, okay,
and
I'm going to critique that. And I'd actually like to get your thoughts, Peter, on how you do it, because you've done a lot of sim racing competitively in the past. Not hill climb racing, but if you were in this situation, if it was me, I'd think I'd want to get some good banker times in. That's what I'd use my first 2 runs for. And then if I realise I messed up a run, I'd try to do a faster banker time. But if I think I got 2 good banker times in, I'd try to absolutely gun it for my final go. How would you approach it, Peter?
I'm not really sure, because if you get one of those really quick ones and a really good run in first time over, of course you're not under as much pressure for the next run, and it seems like the pressure itself makes you make even more mistakes. So if you can get a decent good fast run in like 99-100% to the edge on the first run, I think you're better off than doing like a 90%, 2 90% runs and then try to up that at the end, because I think you can get a better result if you just try and gun it.
Fair. I'd just be too scared that if I messed it up on my gunning it run, and then I messed it up on like my banker run as well. But then again, I've never really done much HillClimb, so I don't really know what the limit is. And it's always been something weird for me with sim racing, which I like to bring up all the time because it's essentially a defense mechanism for me to explain why I'm terrible on online racing. Whenever I race IRL, I feel at home in a car or whatever it is. Like I feel like I could push to that level every single lap without making mistakes. Like if you told me to do a lap and you told me to push 110%, that doesn't make any sense to me because I'm always pushing at maximum. There's no like extra that I can really give. But whenever I'm on sim racing, I always find it so easy to make those mistakes, and I don't know why. And it's always why I like to play things a bit safe and not approach the 100% mark when pushing.
Yeah. You know, every time I find myself in situations like this, I always get to thinking, why did you put yourself under this pressure? Why do you do it?
Oh.
Because I have such a hard time just racing for fun. as soon as it's in some kind of competition, it gets unbearable pressure.
See, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk. And I'm going to talk about someone who is in our YouTube channel, Mark Best, who has won a race so far. Currently sitting second in the E2SC SS. Oh,
Crash over the finish line.
Yeah, if you do it after the finish line, that's fine. You still have crossed the line. But Mark Best was in the chat and he was saying it's very bumpy. And it's what we were talking about earlier, the fact that you can see a lot of cars skittering, especially under the braking zone. And it can cause for a lot of mistakes. And we've seen a lot of cars toppling over, a lot of cars exploring the wildlife here in Austria. I don't know, maybe they'll discover a new species of animal, and you can see that that car just skittering as it breaks down into the uphill right hairpin. Most of the corners are all uphill because, well, it's a hill climb, in case anyone wasn't aware of that yet. I'm just wondering, Peter, like, how far do we go before I end up turning this into a comedy show?
I don't know, but I'm just sitting here really baffled by this Lancia Delta, which is just it's a relic of the old Group B rally cars.
See,
a huge grand turbo on it, and just millions of gazillions of horsepower in a car made mostly of cardboard.
See, now, for me, like, I've recognized some of the cars, but I've never been one who was interested enough to remember the name. Oh, that was close. That was close with one of the open wheelers. So I always remember seeing videos, like old riding videos, and being like, oh, that's so cool. And I like watched them, but I never committed to memory. So when I watch the HillClimb, I keep on thinking, oh, I know that car, but I just don't remember the name.
You don't remember the name, no. It's tough. It's tough. There's so many cars here, and there's so many cars going up the track at once right now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars coming up the track right now. This is the Opel Kadett.
Yeah. That is Mitko Christoph, the Hungarian. No. Bulgarian.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, well, anyway,
okay,
switched
yeah.
up anyway.
I know my name. It is Christoph, number 44. Hashtag blessed, as they'd say. Christoph, actually, where is he sitting in the championship? Currently sitting third. He's picked up 2 fourth-place finishes and a second-place finish in his most recent HillClimb. Can he go one better? Because so far, Andreas Pollebauer, also in an Opel Kadett GTE in the Group H special class,
Well, he has
been impervious.
for Group H. He actually has the best sector 1 and best sector 2 time right now.
There we go. The Bulgarian is at it, and has been launching a slow charge over the course of the championship. 2 fourths, a second, a first, maybe to come. I really wish we could get on boards.
Julian Galparesso is coming up, and he's just done the sector 1 in 87.9 seconds, and Christoph still has that sector by, let me see,
Doesn't sound like it is.
86.9. 2 seconds faster still.
Ooh, bloody hell. That's a good lap. Well, Christoph has completed his lap. As we now see the 130 of Julen Galparsoro in the orange, beautifully orange car. It's like a carrot, but you can't eat it.
A very, very fast carrot.
Honestly, that's how I like my carrots. You know, you got to catch it before you can eat it. Give yourself a good workout, burn out the calories. It's a little rocket. Also, Opel Kadetts. Quite a lot of Opel Kadetts in Group H special class. Then we've also got the Fiat X19, BMW 2002, PII, Alfa Romeo 75, Simca Rally 3 Proto, and then finally a Ferrari. And you'd think that a Ferrari is not similar to these, but wait until you see it. It's a Ferrari 355 GTS. If you want to cheat, you can, go and Google that up, or you could be one of the cool kids and you can wait until you see it on screen, and then be like, oh, that's a Ferrari that Yusuf was talking about.
He was 0.957 seconds behind in Sector 1. He's now 0.816 seconds behind in Sector 2, so he is catching up. So third sector will determine if Galparezza will take
Okay.
in Group H special.
Just a reminder to everyone, 3 runs in total for every driver, and your best 2 runs count. You can look at it however you want, a total of those 2 runs, or an average of those.
Oh, he didn't make it.
How close was it?
He was. I'll try and see, but we've got John Spider coming up now.
That is a huge rear wing. I love that rear wing.
That is a Mercedes 190 DTM car, but that wasn't fast enough. So what they did was they took the Mercedes engine out and put in a V10 Judd Formula 1 engine.
Right. Okay, that's... Fair enough. Well, so far it's been kind of working for John Spider. He's picked up 2/3 in the championship so far. Also has a 0 points, but
This runs over.
I think no. This is clever from John Spider, because if you look, he's now missing the front bumper, and the front bumper has something called a mass. So now the car weighs less, and that means it will accelerate quicker, and it'll slow down quicker. Sadly, there's only one corner left, so he wasn't able to reap the benefits of his now fast Mercedes.
446.1. Not very
So that's John Spider's bad run out of the way, as we see one of the cars almost clattering into John Spider's front bumper that had been left behind from his Mercedes 190E. And across the line comes the 145 Philip Raab, the Opel Cadet.
442.9.
442.9.
Puts him in third place in Group H special.
How many laps have we had so far in Group H?
4. I think we've got 4 cars up. Nope, 3 cars. So he was the worst of the 3 that's been up yet. We've got.
Oof.
Oh, here comes the now it's my problem. Sasakias.
Nikos Saknias.
Yeah, there we go. Something like that. But that's not the Group H special. This actually has quite a lot bigger engine. This is a 3-liter engine in this car. It's an Escort Mark II. So why they would go and put such a big engine in an Escort Mark II is a little bit beyond me.
I mean, why would he put a Formula 1 engine into a Mercedes?
Yeah, well, you gotta wonder.
Honestly, this HillClimb is just like a fantastic reminder of the crazy things people did with cars.
And still do.
And still do, yeah, exactly. Honestly, it's like, I think it's just like a guy thing, where it's just like, right, how much power can we put into this little thing? Ooh.
I want to say right away, that's not John Spider.
Is that not? That is the 116, and I will double check who the 116 is. Of Andreas Polebauer, that is your championship leader in the Group H special class. So not a good start to his HillClimb here in Austria.
That was one of the Group H special Opel Cadet GTE Psychos, wasn't it? The wide ones with a wide body kit. I think so.
I'm just nodding in agreement. In all honesty, Peter, I don't know. I'm just waiting until Juanma Fuentes goes there, because I want everyone to see this Ferrari 355 GTS. Also, Juanma Fuentes races with my number. He stole it. He actually, yeah, number 73. It's my racing number. I'm not quite sure who that is. I didn't catch the number. It's 128, I think. 126. I think it's one of the two. It's white and yellow. Okay, no. Let's look. Where is car number 126? 128.
This is the Renault Clio of Michael Porter.
See, I love Renault Clios.
Small, quite okay power for the size of the car, but really square car. It's like a go-kart. It's like same as the track width.
There's this old game called Tokyo Race Driver 3, and you start the campaign racing in a Renault Clio, and ever since that, okay. No! That's cutting a little bit too much grass.
And then
he crossed the line. Gotta give it to. Wow, that was impressive. How did he just flip the car like that?
I'll show you. Here we go.
Mikael Porhansel. No, I was talking about that. See that?
Look at that.
Yeah, that's getting greedy. Like, I know we were praising how cool the Renault is, but it can't quite do that.
He saw the finish line and gunned it.
So my dad used to tell me about something Ayrton Senna did at France, where because the finish line was so close to the corner exit, apparently on one of his qualifying laps he literally crashed the car over the line, because that way he didn't have to slow down the car, and it got the car over the line and got him pole. I don't know if that's true, or if, well, not an old wife's tale, but an old dad's tale.
There's an equally fun car as the Renault Clio, it's the Fiat X19. Small, square, mid-engine. They're quite popular in these classic car racing series as well.
It's at 282. That is Louis Lacroix, or
Louis Lacroix.
Lacroix.
Yeah.
Lacroix. There we go. He crosses the line. He's currently 5th in the championship. His championship actually started fairly badly. He only picked up 1 point in the first round. Then he picked up 8. Then he picked up 15. So it's getting better and better for Louis. And we'll see whether he can continue.
Way up the timing charge. He did a 438.5.
See, if you just showed that car to me from afar, I would say that is a Honda Jazz.
That is a Honda Civic Type R.
See, I was close. Now, who is piloting that Type R? It's the 301, or is it the 20? I think that's a 201.
Helmut Haar.
Or is it Anza Selen? No, Helmut Haar. Why can't I see the 301 on my...
Well, like this Winter Cup series, there'll be drivers that just come in and start running, and there's a bit of changes from
See, it just makes things harder for me, because I've got no timing. And now, I also have to be aware that there are drivers who aren't even on my championship Ooh! Okay, he just... Did he just pull the plug?
Okay, well, he ended up upside down.
I want to know...
hoping we can get a replay from that.
I do want to know, how did he flip his car once it was upside down? Like, that requires effort to do.
It's the magic spectators, as they do in rally, you know, when they come and help the drivers and roll the car back over again.
I see.
Except here, it's like some of these Irish invisible leprechauns that come and flip the car over.
Okay, I'm going to ask some stuff out in chat. I want to get some chat involvement. So, chat, I hope you guys are ready for this. I would like to know from everyone in chat, and Peter, you can obviously answer this as well. What were your first cars? The first car that you bought with your own money. I'm not like, if Dad once bought you a car, that doesn't count. The first car you ever bought for yourself and drove. Peter, what was yours?
It's not as embarrassing as your car, because I know what your car was, but it's almost there. Like, it was a brand spanking new 2006 Suzuki Alto, and I bought it from the dealership brand new, because at that point that was the cheapest. It was the cheapest small compact car you could buy at that point in time that still was decent quality.
This was only 15 years ago, though.
Yeah.
So what car were you driving before that, then?
No car.
No car. Mr. Peter Munkholm did not have a car.
I didn't have a car until I was 26, I think it was.
Okay.
I lived in cities. Built my bike and used a bus. I didn't get around a lot back then.
Oh, I can see that. So, okay, what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to share with everyone else my car. And I'm going to send you a picture of it, Peter, because that way you can put it up on the screen.
If I can, yeah. If I can accomplish that.
Yeah. There you go, I've sent it. So we've got from Pedro Barbosa, a Volkswagen Golf MK2 1.2 litre petrol 1988. I'm gonna have to get a picture of that one up, Pedro, because I need to be able to roast you for your car. But I don't think that's roastable. I don't think that's roastable. I think that's really sick. That is a really sick car. Damn it. Pedro, why do you have to have such a cool car?
There's something wrong with your Kia, Yusuf.
What?
Well, I need to find cars on track as well. Here we go.
How do we, Peter, in the Discord server, stop the restream bot from pinging everyone?
I have no idea, and I don't know why it does it at the moment. I'll figure it out. What happened to this car?
It went and it got adjusted. Okay, I'm going back to these cars because we've got the Volkswagen Golf MK2 from Pedro Barbosa. John Terrell mentioning the Golf 3 VR6 2.9 litre, which is what I believe I see of him. Yeah. That is a very badly looking Volkswagen. Wait, is that a Micra?
No, I believe it's.
That's a Fiat.
So two seconds. That's a that's a Fiat Punto.
So that's the E1 2000 Plus then.
Yeah. Well, he gave up on the run.
Distilled You Gamecast is saying the AMC Spirit. What on earth is an AMC Spirit? Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. That looks like a car that would only exist in America. That looks like a proper American car.
It sounds American as well.
Does it? So is it
AMC Spirit? Yeah.
Okay. So what does AMC stand for? Automotive Group.
American Motor Company. They all have.
Okay, right. Well, that would explain why it looks so American. See, I knew it. I saw it. I was like,
something like that.
Kind of car. That looks like the Volkswagen Golf MK2, but done wrong. So I'm sorry, Distilled You Gamecast, but I have found a car that's roastable. So thank you for submitting the roastable car. At some point, Peter Munkholm is going to show my car on the screen.
I would try and see if this works, but it's kind of, it's not.
That's my car.
Right, it's.
Yes. So what you could see is I had parked my car. You can see it's parked beautifully, and a tree just came and hit it. So,
a tree just came and hit it.
I came out one day and I was like, well, what the hell? How did this happen to my car? And yeah, it's
one of those sneaky fast trees.
Exactly. No, the true story is I've got a little track in the back garden, and I was sort of whipping it around. I was practicing some, what do you call it? Rev matching. And I decided to go the other way around the track, go a little bit fast in the braking zone. My foot slipped off the brake pedal. I went back on the brake pedal, and then the brakes didn't work because there's a weird thing with the ABS. And then I went into a tree, and the result is what you guys saw on your screen.
Yeah, trees and cars don't mix.
They don't.
It's like, have you seen this sand that when you put it into water, it just doesn't want to mix with the water? It's like hydrophobic, I think they call it. Like you put something into the water that's hydrophobic, and it just doesn't want to mix with it. Like cars are tree phobic.
Cars are tree phobic.
They just don't want to mix.
waterphobic as well.
Just don't want to mix with trees.
Yeah. It's bizarre. I don't know what they've got against trees, to be honest.
that-
Pretty cool.
I hope it's going to replay this, because this... It's a Volkswagen Corrado. Here we go. That's not Jürgen Schwarzenegger, by the way. That is Pablo Suarez. Volkswagen Corrado.
I see he also went for the strategy of removing the front bumper from the car.
Apparently it's popular.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen it 2 times. That is the 42
Just
of
crossed the
Davos
finish line.
Salonika.
Just crossed the finish line. 5:21.3.
That doesn't sound fast.
Nope, he was in last place in Group H special. Who have we got coming up track now? Who have we got? Or was that the end of the run? We've got Rudy Ullmann, no time. Marcus Blasel, no time. Niklas Douglas, no time. Dennis Arsenidis, no time.
Arsenidis?
Robin Quellis, no time. Andreas Roosevelt, no time. We know why Andreas doesn't have a time. We still got Gusson. That's Indianapolis.
Oh, that is the 1, 2, 3 of Andilopoulos. Andilopoulos?
Andreas Valles, no time. Adrian Valera, no time. I believe this is the last car coming up the hill for the first run.
Okay. Well, let's see how it does. I have no idea what the first 2 sector times are looking like, so it's just admiring the car in all of its beauty when it comes through the final sector of the lap, I do believe. We'll see what it comes out. This is the corner where a lot of drivers start taking too much curb, or it's about to come up. There's a right-hander, they take too much curb, and it launches them into the wall as they cross the finish line. Where is it? I think it's the next left-hander. That they... that was the one. That's the one that they take to the finish line just there. Is it any good?
I am trying to sort it out. So maybe if I'm fast, maybe we can get a glimpse here of... it doesn't want to pick up the far... Nope. And the server reset before we got the times on. I did have them though. But do you know what that means, Yusuf?
Yeah.
It's time for a commercial break.
Ooh, commercial break. Well, we're going to be back shortly. Enjoy a few words from our sponsors.
The 2022 International HillClimb Cup Virtual Hohenstein Berg Rennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, A-Stick Sim Sport, ESTV, and Motorvision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Of runs here on HillClimb, and to make things even better, and you guys are gonna love this, we've got timings up, and I can see the timings as well, which means we can be giving you even more information here for the HillClimb series. Sebastian Ronat making his way up the, you guessed it, hill for his second run of the day. I can't actually quite remember where he finished for his third run. I think it was third. And he's got Herbert not too far behind him, and Herbert actually won the E2 3000 first run. He was the quickest in his Osella FA30. Usually Sebastian Ronat the only FA30 out on the course, but now Herbert also joining Ronat in the Osella club. So, first sector then, for Ronat, a 111.0. For Herbert, behind, it's a 115.2. So a little bit off there, sadly for him.
I bet you Sebastian's going for the safe run now. It doesn't look as... It doesn't look like he's pushing as hard as it was in the first run. Although these cars just look mental. No matter what you're doing, they're just like slow in this car is still insanely fast.
Yeah. Well, if it was me, I think it would be in a tree already by now, possibly.
He must be close to his sector 2 time now.
Yeah, we'll see what it is when he does come through. 111.0, his first sector time. Not quite sure what an ideal sector 2 time is, but we'll find out, because I'm sure it'll be a representative time from Sebastian Ronat, who leads the Category 2 E2 3000 class.
I can't remember seeing anything faster than 111. But he's 80% done on the stage, and we haven't seen a sector 2 time yet. There we go. 158.5.
And now just a few corners to go. The goal, or he goes under the bridge, does Ronat. I think there's only 5 or 6 corners now remaining in the lap. We'll see that infamous right-hander. That car
has had an issue. I just saw the yellow flag pop up by his name, so...
and Agios Andre.
It's not going to cut it with the 4 seconds that he was behind. 4.1, almost 4.2.
Oh, cross the line.
What do we get?
And into the trees, 343.6 for Ronat. Also, Javi Rodriguez doing a 32.9 in the SH 3000 class. Got a few others going around. Philip Gartner, 118.9 in his opening sector.
That is not Javi Rodriguez that had this crash.
That's the 195 of... I will find out who that is eventually.
Yeah, it is Javier Rodriguez.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Well,
no, I'm trying to find that 195 on my sheet, and I don't have it.
Nope.
So,
but it is. That was Javier Rodriguez.
Yeah, a debut race for Javi.
He started first in this run, though, of the E2 SH 3000s. So he must have been the fastest guy in the last run. In that class.
Wait, but Sebastian Ronat started first. Was he also fastest in the first run?
No, but he wasn't in the E2 SH 3000s. He's in the E2 3000.
Yeah, but he was the first of the E2 3000s to go out.
Yeah, no, okay, that's because of qualifying time. Yeah, of course. So they're still running them by the qualifying times and not by the time in the last run.
Well, okay, Alvarez still going. That is the 153. A very good looking car as well of Tobias Bergstoff in the Lancia Evo 4 or Mark 4. Currently leading the championship, 2 wins and a second for Tobias. And he's gone purple in the opening sector. In the E1 plus 2000 category. We'll see what his second sector time is looking like. Philip Gartner has completed his lap, a 4:08.3 in the E2 3000, so slower than Urban. Continuing his ascent is Bergstoff. Javi Rodriguez, having completed 2 sectors in the E2 SH 3000 class. Remember, Javi Rodriguez leading the championship currently in his BMW E30 Turbo.
We haven't got any sector times on him yet.
We have first sector 32.9, second sector 2 minute 22.3.
Yeah, it hurt him with the
Nice
crash.
little lock up, and that is going to be the lap time, drawing to a close for Javi. And it's enough to jump him ahead of Tobias Bergstoff, but then again, different class.
With the crash still? Yeah, okay. He must have been gunning it on the rest of the stage. I didn't catch that.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was, to be honest. Andras Roosevelt is on a lap in his Tattoos Master, a 125.0 in the first sector. And that is in the E2 2000 class. Have we had any other E2 2000 laps? We've got Agios Andre, 126.4 in the first sector, 2 minute 15.0 in the second sector. So Andras is quicker. By about 1.5 seconds in that first sector. As who are we looking at right now?
That's Agios Andre.
Okay. In the Delara F312. Those are cars that you definitely don't want to be touching any of the grass with.
As he just touches
Yeah,
the grass.
never mind. He doesn't care.
Before going across the finish line.
Final corner. Well, I guess Andre, the first E2 2000 to complete a lap.
This is a car I remember. The Ford Escort. Oh, nice.
Did it have a nice number 32 on it as well?
Yeah. It's Pedro Alvarez.
He's driving around with Pedro Alvarez. Well, Pedro is second in the championship, 13 points behind a certain Tobias Bergstoff. Now, the question is, Pedro Alvarez, what are his sector times looking like? If I can find Pedro Alvarez on my timing sheet.
Yeah.
Well, I can't find him. Either that
So
or
124.3 on sector 1, 2:15.7 on sector 2, and he just completed his run with. Where did he
it's slower.
go?
It's 4 seconds slower than Tobias Bergstoff. And where did he lose that time? He lost over a second in the first sector, second sector 1.5 seconds, final sector another 9/10. So Tobias Bergstoff just being quicker. Bergstoff looking to pick up his his third win of the season and extending his lead at the top end of the championship. As we see the number 67. Who is the number 67 again?
Jose Alvarez.
See, how do you find this out quicker than me?
I've got the producer tool for selecting cars, so I just go to the producer tool and see what car is on screen.
In other words, Peter's cheating.
Or I get the overlays in a browser window where they magically just work, but when they're put into OBS, they just don't want to do anything.
Well, Jose Alvarez, 6th in the championship right now. He finished 10th in his first round, and then he picked up 2 5th place results. Yeah. I'm going to assume, brother of Pedro Alvarez,
He's
who is second in the
2.2 behind on sector 1.
Not terrible. Yeah, he's the second off his brother in the opening sector, which I guess is somewhat reasonable. He is actually faster than Müller, which I guess can be expected. He's ahead of him in the championship. And so as he continues his ascent up the hill,
Well, if he continues driving like this and don't have any major issues, because he is very tight and quite fast.
Right.
If he can continue this, he's going to improve. Oh, that was close. Like just touching one of those pieces of rock or like the cliff face there on the inside, just touching with one of the wheels and it's going to throw you upside down.
I kind of want a loop-the-loop in our next HillClimb event.
You see how they know where they can cut the track and where they can't?
That's from many hours of practice, I would assume.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it does go a little bit
Very
wrong.
impressive run, this one. I think he didn't use the handbrake, but he was doing like left foot braking while on the throttle to kind of make the car throw the rear end.
Well, Jose Alvarez, that first sector was a decent time. We'll see what the second sector time is looking like.
A little bit greedy in the hairpin there.
Well, now it's a right hairpin. Doesn't take any grass this time. Now left hairpin. Slow it down. Car doesn't skitter over any of the bumps. Hold it tight for very long.
Do you know how sometimes when it looks slow, it really is fast because it's just a little bit more clean and tidy than when you're trying to really go fast?
Yeah.
I think this is it.
I don't, because he's 4 seconds slower in the middle sector than Tobias Bergpreis.
That is.
It's a margin.
Yeah.
It's actually 3 seconds slower than Flo Müller as well.
See, I find that strange because it's so hard just by looking at the car to see how fast people are. But okay, if it's like a 10-kilometer stage, then yeah, how would you see 4 seconds difference in speed on 10 kilometers?
I think it just hasn't been on edge enough, like a lot. It's felt like every time when he goes through corners, he's not on the edge. The car's not pushing it all the way out to the edge of the circuit. At least that's what I've been able to see. It's the 81 is definitely pushing it to some degree. That's Pedro Barbosa in the Dallara F312.
He's already had his issues before we caught him on camera here. He's 7.8 seconds behind on sector 1.
Yeah. But maybe he can recover something in the next 2 sectors.
Those open wheel cars, the Formula cars, they're so nimble.
See, usually I wouldn't hear someone saying that about an open wheel car that is nimble. Like, I'd expect that more for like the Volkswagen and the Fiats.
But it is. It is, Yusuf. It's changing direction immediately.
Yeah, fair enough. But where's the turning circle on that car?
Quite small with the steering lock they put in for these hill climbs. Quite small. Look at the acceleration. It was almost parked there and just woof, went away again. That is crazy.
Gotta gas it, gotta floor it, gotta shoot up the hill. Pedro Barbosa. What is this middle sector gonna be? Actually, he's taking that corner fairly well, because that's usually where you see the cars really skittering under braking. Pedro Barbosa had no such issues. Oh god, that does not look pleasant. Honestly, it pains me to see an open wheel car juddering like that over the bumps. I just think it's gonna like break.
You think the driver's wearing like these rubber teeth protection things?
I think they might need a rubber butt protector as well.
Like kidney belts and the teeth protector.
Yeah, gum shields.
Yeah.
Well, that's the second sector done, a 2:15.7, which is only 7/10 off Agios Andre, quicker than Andras Rosival. So it's all come down to that poor opening sector from Pedro Barbosa.
So that must be so annoying, seeing that you're almost fastest in sector 2, and then you're dragging those 7.8 seconds around still.
Patrick Froelich has completed his lap in 5:18. Saved it.
Well, that was exciting.
Yeah, he's actually his final sector matches almost identically to Andres Rosabal, just 1,000 slower. But sadly, his overall lap is much, much slower than Tatos Rosabal.
Christoph looks to be taking pole or like fastest time in Group H special for now. He's got fastest sector 1 and sector 2 times.
Yeah, good stuff from Christoph so far. I don't think any of the other Group H specials have done their laps yet. So
this is like watching the Finnish rally. It's like 10 seconds in a jump, 10 seconds in a jump, 10 seconds in a jump.
it would if there was some snow, I'd say. Right, then it's definitely a Finnish rally.
There we go. Fastest.
Yeah,
Group H special.
4:37. I'm just going to clarify again. He's the only Group H special to have done a lap so far.
Oh, but he started P11 in Group H special though, so there must have been a lot of guys ahead of him, because they didn't get any times then. Well, I don't understand the system. The system's complicated.
As I like to say, the system is above my pay grade.
George Mellis or Jorge Mellis. I don't know if he's Spanish or.
There is one way to find out.
Oh no, he is crashing though. Ow!
And he's upside down. And
he
he's done.
gave up.
Yeah.
He gave up on the run.
I don't
See, that must mean that we only have 2 rounds counting, because if you crashed like that and it was all runs counting, you would have still gone on and tried to get the best time that you could.
Yeah.
When you can throw away a run like that, it must mean that it's only the 2 best runs counting for this round.
To be fair, his middle sector was pretty good. His middle sector was actually faster than Jose Alvarez. Slower than some of the others though. But it was decent until that point. There is the own 130.
Julen Galbazoro.
Okay, I'm gonna need to check that one.
I know, you don't need to check if he's Spanish, but I think he is. I don't think anybody other than Spanish would be named Julen.
Julen doesn't sound like a very Spanish name to me. Julen Galparzoro. Galparzoro. Zoro? Soro. It was worth a shot.
Well, if he's from Barcelona, it would be Galparzoro.
Sure. I think, maybe. We've got a yellow flag out. That was Charles Angelopoulos completing his lap in the Lancet Evo. Where did he finish?
Oh, this one's close, Yusuf. Hold it, 0.03 seconds behind that sector 2.
Well, let's see when he crosses the line.
There isn't a hair width in this. 0.189 afterwards behind that sector 1 and 0.03 on sector 2.
Well, let's see. Mitko and Christoph currently leading.
Last turn right?
In the Group H class, yep.
And then the left one and over the line? Yep.
Where is it? Ooh, it's not enough. 110 over a 4.5 minute hill climb is very close. Very, 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 very close. Imagine if someone slots in between those two as well, now.
Because, again, one of the Greek guys, a lot of Greek guys in this series as well. French, Spanish, and Greek seems to be...
There's only one British driver as well.
And that I really wonder why, because HillClimb's quite popular in Britain, right?
No. Don't
There's
think so.
a lot of HillClimb tracks, though.
There aren't a lot of hills.
We got a lot of hills. There's a lot of Scottish HillClimb tracks as well.
Yeah, okay, maybe in Scotland, Peak District as well, there could be something. But honestly, in the UK, apart from Scotland, apart from the Peak District and there's one that's near Manchester.
Yeah, well, your highest, still your highest hill or mountain or whatever is still more than 600 meters tall, right? It's 680 something, isn't it?
I genuinely don't know. I will find this out.
You know how high the highest point in Denmark is?
I'll be honest, I don't know. So
120 something meters. I don't even remember how much it is. I think it's 124 or something like that. It's like if a tsunami comes, you can't even run and hide there. It's still too low.
Oh, they're fine. Yeah, it's only 170 meters. What? Okay, so the UK is Ben Nevis, 1,300.
Yeah, and I've been on that top of Ben Nevis.
But let me find the tallest England mountain. 978. So until you go outside of England, you don't get over 1 kilometer.
900 meters is still a proper mountain. It's not a small hill or something like that. It's still a proper mountain. Ooh.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Philotheus, Agurao. I don't know, but the BMW was nearly losing
Philotheus Argurio.
in the last corner.
Where is Philotheus?
I didn't see where he ended up. He ended up in
That's not good.
P16, so no.
Yeah, P16. Second in class though. But 431.5 and the best time was 426.
It's the E2 SH3000s, and there's 3 cars or something like that in that class.
Yeah, I mean he's ahead of John Spider by 2 seconds, but then John Spider had a big moment somewhere, I think. No, he didn't.
You didn't see this run from John. I saw the last run, and that was when he had a big moment.
Yeah. So it's not going too well for John right now, sadly for him. Do you want to actually have a guess, Peter? Where do you think, what nationality do you think John Spider has?
That could be anywhere with I think could be anywhere with a German affiliation as well. So if it's I have no idea, but he could be French or from Belgium or Poland as well. Actually,
Completely wrong.
okay,
Greek.
Greek.
Yeah.
John Spider's not really doesn't sound Greek at all.
No. But he is. Now, where did that 136 put their car? What lap time was it? So that was Todoro Kostadinov, who went third in the Group H class, actually.
Lacroix bumping one of the stones on the outside of one of the many corners.
Lacroix. What is his first sector time looking like for Louis? 1:30.9.
Yeah.
What is the fastest in the Group H?
The fastest time is 1:26.7, but I don't know who put it up.
Midko Histov. Is it enough to beat Toto? Toto 29-2 in the first sector.
Definitely not.
I mean, he could catch him
tough.
if he gets the second, third sectors. If he nails them, he might have a chance.
But then again, we're talking 4-5 seconds on 10 plus kilometers. It's nothing. There's nothing in it.
Yeah, true. So, who else could Louis potentially jump? Philip Raab. So he's 3 seconds slower than Philip in the first sector, but Philip got a pretty bad finals. Yeah, Philip Raab was on for a very fast lap, and then he went 40 seconds too slow in the final sector.
Do you know who's fast?
Who?
Ina Garcia
Ina Garcia. What is the Ina Garcia up to?
in the BB Corrado E1 2000s.
Yes.
Best
E1
sector one
2000.
time.
Okay, so the fastest E1 2000 time is
It's 1:30.
Mikkel Porhansen. And
He's going to get beaten now.
33.0 in the first sector, 230.8 in the next.
Yeah, 230.8. Yeah, well, Ina Garcia did a 130.4 in sector 1, so quite a lot faster.
Okay, I see what you're saying. He's going fast. That is pretty quick for the Corrado R, the number 113 Ina Garcia. Good spot there, Peter.
Like, the wide body kit on this is just
Actually,
makes
Peter.
the car
No,
twice
Peter.
as wide.
You know who is going fast? Oliver Toth. Same car, the Corrado R, 130.0 in the first sector, 4 tenths quicker. So it's actually going to be very close in this E1 2000 class. In fact, even Achin Vargas in the Honda Type R, 30.4. So all 3 of these E1 2000s out on track right now, and they are putting in some very, very good sector times.
And Ina Garcia did not beat the sector 2 time. He's 0.131 behind on sector 2.
So 230.8 and Ina Garcia 230.9. So he's still overall purple on his lap. If you combine everything, he's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, Oliver Toth is still looking like he's going to take it.
I'm also looking on, keeping an eye on Achin Vargas as well. At the moment, Ina Garcia will complete his lap first. Then it will be either Achin Vargas or Oliver Toth.
Yeah, Ina Garcia did a 447.4.
Oh, has he completed his lap?
Yeah.
Okay, 447.4. There you go. 2 seconds quicker. What about Oliver Toth and Achin Vargas? They have not completed their second sectors yet. Wait, are they? They are on laps, right?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. They're saying that their speed is 0. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. I'm not reading. That's right. Ignore me. I'm very surprised why they haven't completed their second sector yet. Because 2 minutes should have passed by now.
The second sector is like less than 2 kilometers long. It's more than 80% of the stage is done when you get to the sector 2 time.
Okay. See more times.
Oliver Toth just had a moment in one of the right hand hairpins.
Well, let's see how much time it costs him. Still waiting for those sector 2 times to come in. Oliver Toth, the fastest man in the E1 2000 class in the opening sector by about 4 tenths.
Again, just a little bit too greedy on the inside of the corners.
Okay, middle sector 232.1. 1 second slower than Ina Garcia.
Not gonna make it. Ina Garcia's gonna take it.
You know what? Probably.
Achin Vargas is.
Ooh, that is far from Achin Vargas. That's 3.5 seconds quicker than Ina Garcia. To be fair, I think Oliver Toth would have matched if he didn't make that mistake. I think Oliver Toth is going through the final few corners now, so let's see what this is for Oliver. I'm going to say P2. Yep, P2, 48.3, 9/10 off. And now it's all on Achin Vargas. What can he do? This
right
has
there.
to be the fast time. This is probably going to be a
Last corner.
45 here. Clean, tidy, across the line. And the Honda jumps up into pole 4 seconds quicker than Ina Garcia. And Oliver Toth could match that easily could Oliver Toth have matched Achin Varga, but it all went badly in that middle sector. Oliver Toth won the opening round of the season as well, and then picked up 2 seconds behind, you guessed it, Achin Vargas. Where is Jürgen Strasseger? Oh, he's in 5th. He has not had a good time, has he? No. He's 3rd in the championship. In fact, Mikael Porhansel might jump him. Ina Garcia might jump him as well. With how things are currently looking. Ina Garcia actually missing out on the first round of the season. As we see the number 65 car.
And there is a reason why he's...
Marcus Blasey. Yeah, he's...
I didn't do that well, because look at this, Yusuf.
We are looking.
And I don't know why it's not
It's
playing, or it's playing really slowly for weird reasons. Okay, complete loss of imagery.
Just what we like to see. I love it.
Oh, in the middle of a run? No, not really.
It's a chance for us to talk to our viewers, you know. Here in the stage. We forget.
Imagery back, here we go.
Okay, how many more runs do we have? We've got 5 or something.
These.
Honestly, there's going to be some kids in the chat making jokes about that. But 38.7 in the opening sector.
Look at the timings now. Look at how you can see the name. You can see a Sector 1 time compared to the best Sector 1 time. You've got all the other drivers from the same class on the left in the timing tower. Like, this is how it's supposed to work when it's working. See how long it's going to continue.
Well, Jürgen, 38.7 in the first sector, 3:02 in the second sector. That's a Group H special, and if you look at the fastest times in the Group H special, we are looking at 29s in the opening sector, 26.7 for Christoph. So sadly,
P5, I think.
for these, this is...
I think he's going to take P5 from Rudy Ullmann.
I don't think so.
I do.
No, he's going to be like 8th. This is not good.
You don't think so?
No, this is...
I mean, where he went on Sector 2. I haven't got a Sector 2 time yet. It doesn't want to show it.
I'm just going to go out there and say 9th.
Yeah, it's not updating. It's not updating. It doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, it's 9th. 5:28.9, 7/10 slower than Philip Rabb. He had a really bad middle sector. He went 40 seconds slower in that middle sector. And then Philip Rabb, he had that really bad final sector. Otherwise, Philip Rabb would have been right up there in his Opel Kadett.
I can't. There's no way I can understand why it doesn't want to update.
Damos Salonica. I don't know why I'm doing everything with an Italian accent. That is also Group H special. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more cars to complete their laps. 6 cars. No, 4 cars. No, 6 cars. George Mallis and Pullabauer and Andreas Pullabauer are on their laps. Andreas Pullabauer, your Group H special class leader. So that's someone that I really do want to look at. Can we get Pullabauer?
Yeah, he hasn't started his run yet. I think he's already been there and
he's
pitched his run.
Okay, fair enough.
He might have just crashed on Sector 1.
No, he's done 2 sectors, 28.7 first sector, 21.9 middle sector. So not purple in either sector. And maybe Andreas Pullabauer will be for the first time. Oh no, there we go. We've got Polabauer up on our screen. So 28.7, 21.9.
That's not Polabauer. That is Demos Salonica.
So massively baited.
Yeah, it's the stupid timing, Yusuf. You can't rely on it. It's so annoying. He's 18.2 seconds behind on Sector 1 though, which is massive. So, what you do, like, driving a Ford Escort like that, I don't think times really matter. Like, you would just have the time of your life anyway.
To be honest, like, you could put me in the car going up that hill, and I'd have the time of my life.
Massively tuned. There's something done with the engine in that car that really doesn't, like, that is, it doesn't belong there in that car. Like, if you want something periodically correct, that's not it. Look at the rims on it. It's running on 18-inch rims with low profile tires. It's so out of period. it's crazy.
Oh, Peter, I've got a joke for you. Why did Iron Man never get along with Aquaman?
Rust?
He had P-Rust issues.
Yeah.
Good job, Peter. See, this is how you know that Peter is, a dad joke kind of person. Like, actually being able to figure that out. So, who is that? That is Salonica, right?
Yeah.
44.9 in the first sector. I'll be honest, that's not a good time. This is not looking good for Salonica. I think he might be able to jump ahead of Philip Raab as long as he doesn't completely mess up these final two sectors.
But then again, I saw in the replay, I can't remember if we caught that and put it on stream, but I saw Philip Raab being stationary for quite some time after a crash, so...
Oh yeah, Philip Raab went like 40 seconds slower than normal in the final sector, so... Like, legitimately, that time from Philip Raab should have been good enough to get him into the top 5. But a lot of time lost. In fact, he probably would have been top 3.
Yeah, well, he won't be last because Polabauer is going to take that one because he isn't going to get a time.
Yeah. How many more people left? Matteo Golenz, Pablo Suarez.
No one's starting new runs, usually, so this is the last run.
Okay.
For this round.
I do apologise to our viewers that I've got my hood up, but it's cold here in England, and the alternative is me getting a dressing gown. Right, well, let's see the end of this run before we head into our third and final set of runs.
That was it.
There we go. What was that lap time? Salonica 8th, ahead of Philip Raab by 4 seconds. And into the final set of runs we are going to go.
Can we catch a quick commercial break while we're waiting for the first guys to start up again?
And this is why Peter's a producer, not me. So we'll catch you guys in a short bit.
The 2022 International HillClimb Cup Virtual Hauenstein Berg Rennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Astig Sim Sport, ESTV, and Motorvision.tv.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Oh, we got on board. Oh, Peter. You can't just throw me in like this. I need preparation for the excitement. Ooh. Oh, okay. This is too much. Oh, this is beautiful. The thing is, I can't hear any audio sounds, so I almost want to make like car noises and like meow. Doing it. Let's go. The thing is because I've got the mute tab muted, but the thing is if I unmute it, I hear myself. So it's absolutely nuts. Who are we on board with? Sebastian Runner? Okay. You know when we see the off-board view, the TV camera view, it makes it look easy. But half this blind, like the amount of commitment, you literally just have to throw the car and hope it's... You know, I'm going to be glad. I'm going to stick... Oh! That's run done. No? How much damage is there to Runner's car? That is the question. Oh no. That's good. This is a bit where you've got to commit even more. If you're going 105% now, it's 110%. You just got to find as much time as possible. Oh. Yep. Yeah, it's over. And his first one was not good. Okay, yeah. See, this is why I say you got to have a safety run. Fast run if you mess up a previous run. Oh god. Yep. This is gonna... Yeah, he's given up. He's done with it. He is not a happy Frenchman right now. Was this the first mistake? Maybe he thought he had found a shortcut. No. Yeah, I'm joking. He's in the Norma M20 FC as Zytek. 2/3. And actually having won last time out did Mark Best, but here in Austria, he's not looking good. Herbert is in a 3:55.6. Mark Best, 5.5 seconds off in the opening sector. I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's beating it. Oh, is it not? Big rep. Well, let's see what that middle sector is looking like for Mark Best. He wants to be doing a 205. Well, actually, he wanted to be doing a 2:04 if he wants to jump ahead of Herder, at least for this one. There's no doubting that Sebastian Renner was the fastest, just that he was pushing slightly beyond the limits, especially on a course as difficult as this one. Well, here's the thing, because if Mark Best takes second, if Mark Best takes second this round, he jumps ahead of Sebastian Renner. Javi Rodriguez has just done his final time of the day, a 4:19.2 in the E2SH 3000 class. Again, I don't know if that's a good time, because I can't see the previous times. Slight issue that. Tobias Verstoff, 4:16.8. I think that is fast for an E1 2000 plus class. Pedro Alvarez is on a run. Pedro actually going just over a second slower in the opening sector. Okay. Mark Best has gone a second quicker than Herder, but he lost like a load of time in the first sector, so it's a shame. Also, he lost 2 seconds in the second sector, yeah. Agias Andre. Let's go. E2 2000. No other E2 2000 plus lap times set. Oh no, Tobias Bergpreis has set his. That was a 4:16.8. First sector, Pedro, or first sector, Agios. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Pedro Alvarez. Pedro Alvarez is second off Bergpreis at the moment. Agios Andre is the only E2 2000 who will do a lap. That's not bad. This is a good time. I think Roosevelt jumps him. No, he doesn't. He's 4/10 off. He lost 9/10 in the final sector. Oh. Agios Andre in the championship has not won a race yet. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I kind of want to give information about where people are finishing at the moment, but I can't see the previous times, so I'm just going to talk about it in terms of this stint of laps alone, as an independent study. Wait. Yeah. Very true. Which to be honest, I maybe could have almost done it, but I need a printing sheet to be able to do that beforehand. How mad could a madman push if a madman could push mad? We'll do this, okay. Number 67, that is Jose Alvarez. I just said Alvarez, oh my god. Jose Alvarez Honestly, that middle sector is decent. It's faster than Ludovic Calvé. I don't know. Let's see. 24-6. Considering Jose Alvarez 6th in the championship, best result P5. I don't think this is good. And it's behind, actually, Flo Malou. Pedro Barbosa. He's finished third in both races. Could this be his best result of the season? We'll see. Also, Andres Roosevelt might not be winning the class for the first time, as Agus Andre, picking up 3 seconds so far in the season, might be on for their first win, having put in a 422.5, which is 4 tenths quicker than Roosevelt. I'm not sure, as Alex Goldschmidt has joined us from, I believe, a hotel room. There you go. But Alex Goldschmidt, how are you doing?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to all GTR 24H fans. Good evening, Mr. Muncombe. Good evening, Yusuf. Hello, hello, yes. I'd like to know, Peter. That's about the same amount of margin of the win of a heat at Captain Campillos when I was in Spain just this past weekend. But that's incredible pace for the two of them. So that's epic and lovely to see these wonderful hill climb machines. Oh, bit of a off-track moment there for the Opel. Those things get a little bit leery, don't they? Yeah, well.
Was it Hulin who did that? I know someone did. Someone bottled it massively. Oh yes, the carrot rocket. The rocket carrot.
Rocket carrot? Carrot rocket? Are you getting your word?
It's a carrot of some kind.
It's definitely not one being fed to a donkey, that's for sure.
No. This is a carrot that no donkey's catching up to.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Galparotto, or Galparsoro, very quick in the opening sector, 126.6. The fastest time for the Group H special class is a 26.7. So it's only a tenth quicker than Hristoff, but it is going to be close. Hristoff in the middle sector did a 221.227. So we'll see what Galparsoro can pull out in this middle sector. He's coming up to that second sector checkpoint in any moment now.
When it looks slow, it looks very, very fast, especially with the way that you've got to manage these cars, and there's a hell of a lot of horsepower going through the rear axle. I mean, just the wide lines that he's taking to carry the momentum through, going through underneath the bridge section, is just absolutely captivating. 130's doing an absolutely epic job so far.
7 tenths up in that middle sector, 220.5 for Galparsoro. And he's coming up to the final corners. This is where we've seen a few people really mess up, taking too much off the grass, and it can send them into the walls. One final right, and then into the left, about to come up. And here we go. There's that right. Doesn't take up too much. Doesn't take up any of the grass. Oh, sorry. Here it is. The penultimate right into the final left, and across the line for Galparsoro. Oh, 3 tenths.
Youch. That just shows, I mean, even in the latter part of that sector, and he took it by a considerable margin as well. So that just goes, I mean, even noticing on the last bit as we see one of the Mercedes 190 Evo Judd cars, very reminiscent of old DT. Look at how far it goes off track after the finish line. I know. But these cars, I mean, I was waxing lyrical about these about a month ago, if I remember correctly, Peter, when we were in, I think it was in northern Italy a couple of rounds back, and we had, and a big thank you to Chris Buxton for jumping in the hot seat for the last round at I think it was the Glasbach, if memory serves me correctly. But now we see another one of the Opels going up the hill. Not so much aerodynamic efficiency as the orange carrot, as use of is now unofficially monikered it. But it's an orange carrot on steroids with 4 wheels and an engine in the front. But noticing in that run that car did the 130, it literally, there was a little yomp and it just leaped over it, and then he just literally straight lined the next apex to get the full run of speed coming through. But this looked neat and tidy. A little bit of grass cutting by the left rear wheel, but under braking, the car just looks like it's stuttering, like you're trying to put down the power and just like jolts backwards and forwards like a rocking chair.
Todor Kostadinov putting in a bit of a lap. First exit 29.0. The fastest time 26.6. So a few seconds off is Todor. And now that I think about it, Orange Carrot is a slight case of tautology.
Explain.
Well, carrots are always orange, aren't they? So I don't need to say the orange carrot, I'll just say it's a carrot.
Yeah, true. Just...
Well, let's see what Todor can do. Louis I get it wrong every time. See, I was actually saying at the start of the show, I don't know if you were listening in then, but I was saying that if we could get you in, we'll just get you to try to pronounce all of these different names, which I am completely hopeless at trying to pronounce.
Oh my goodness me. Throwing me under the proverbial surname uttering bus there, Yusuf.
Oh, I'm throwing myself under the bus. You're my saviour here, Alex.
Well, Peter just had a bit of what's happened with the bearded Danish master that is Mr. Munkholm? What got you all excited? I'm going to say it now. The Clio has just done the biggest amount of style points going across the start-finish line and going off into the trees. Now this is a car that I like, the Fiat X19. The amount of times that I've heard people utter the words Fiat X19, no, it's an X19 because there's a / in between the numbers on this particular derivative of the car. It's one that you don't see around much these days. I've actually driven one. Okay. One of my friends, Rick, he had an X19 for a couple of years. Let's just say that the panel work wasn't exactly up to par, but it was a lovely drive nevertheless. He said, yeah, the speedo doesn't work, the rev counter gives an indication. I've got to run the GPS speed monitor on my phone the whole time. But in all honesty, it's a lovely looking car, and the back end snaking out to the right as he applies the power up through the twisty stuff here, and you can just see where the car on the front end catches the ump, then it goes sideways to the left. This is where, and cutting grass just to carry that momentum through, the back end bouncing out to the right. This is a committed run and a half. I think, and again, sideways through the next double right, up the hill, through into the left. Again, the car on the ragged edge. And just going completely sideways, flame shooting, the car catching a little bit of air going through, and then into the next right-hand kink. And the amount of momentum carry that's coming from this Fiat X19 is absolutely mind-blowing.
It's not. It's a fair way away. It's
He did a Tony Hawk coming across the finish line as well. So that one. So we've had a Clio in the trees and now a Fiat X19 through. And I can't actually see live timing because I'm currently in my hotel room.
You're on screen.
I'm on uno mas, as they say
right now. Yeah.
I know, but that's the beauty of modern technology. But this is a car that I do have a bit of a penchant, the old Volkswagen Corrado. They never made an R derivative of it. They made the G60, they made the 16 valve, and they made the VR6, but the Golf R, I mean the R moniker currently used in modern day Volkswagen performance vehicles. And this one's got a bit of an air of Ken Block hoonigan about it, you know, the Monster Energy logo, a bit of colour there. And it's nice to see people getting a bit creative on the old liveries, isn't it, Yusuf?
Yes, but, right, this is the one thing that I know about the HillClimb series so far. If you want action, you wait for the E1 2000 when Oliver Toth, Ina Garcia, and Action Vargas are all out on the hill. Because they are very, very fast. There's a reason why Vargas and Toth are first and second in the championship. Okay, there we go. We've got all four of the top 5, and don't forget Mikkel Podhansel, fourth in the championship, first at the moment. And right now, Oliver Toth on a blinder of a lap.
Yeah, and when there's one Volkswagen Corrado R, there's also the other one. There's the 210 now up the hill, cutting grass like a good and doing a bit, nigh on doing a bit of Valtteri Bottas that we've seen in the HillClimb Championship, where they've been mowing grass for the front splitters in these cars. But that looks now rather nice and neat and tidy through the right-hand hairpin, up the hill, through the left, gathering speed.
Ina Garcia is about to complete his lap. We'll see where he goes. He beats Podhansel by 2.5 seconds. So a blinding lap, purple in the final sector, but Oliver Toth a little bit quicker. In fact, Jürgen Strasseger is a bit ahead of him on circuit. So if you could jump on board with Jürgen, that was bright. I wasn't expecting that kind of change of livery, Alex.
Oh, that's something that Stephanie, if it was in Star Wars, it would glow in the dark.
Honestly, that car might have more power than a lightsaber. It would not surprise me.
Yeah, gotta have a bit of VTEC. After what is it, 7,000 RPM, it screams like a howling banshee, and you really get a lot more power.
Yeah. Oliver Toth is looking very, very quick. In fact, this time, I think, from Strasseger, is going to be quite close to Mikkel Podhansel, so I'll see when he comes across the line. But Oliver Toth, purple in both of the opening 2 sectors, and currently is looking to blow Ina Garcia's time out of the water by maybe even 2 seconds, as that is taking a lot of curb from Toth.
That is what you call, right mate, you've just got served and I've thrown you under the double-decker bus in London Central for good measure.
That, I feel pain for that Volkswagen right there, but through the final corner, and what is it? Oliver Toth, the 43.6, 1.5 seconds quicker than Garcia.
I think Garcia's probably thinking Madre de Dios right about now.
It would not surprise me. Now the only person who can challenge is Action Vargas, who is about to complete the second sector. His first sector was 0.8 slower than Toth. His middle sector, oh, you're going to like this one, Alex, because he is 1.7 seconds up.
Yowzers. I mean, that is impressive. Action Vargas has shown that prowess throughout the championship so far, and this Civic is absolutely pinned, it's planted, it's calm, it's composed. There's no overdriving from Vargas at the moment, and this looks quick. A little bit of slide from the right rear coming through the fast twisty section, where it's basically a set of kinks as opposed to a full set of corners. And that is just, he's just cut the grass on the right hand side and still kept it pinned. Through he goes.
He destroyed him. He literally destroyed Oliver Toth. He baited us all in the first sector, and he has taken it by 2 seconds. He pulled a second over Oliver Toth in that final sector alone. Action Vargas showing that, no, you're not going to take that P1 spot from him in the championship just yet, Oliver.
That was definitely a case of how to throw the humble pie grenade, pull the pin at the same time, and wait for the multiple explosions that follow suit.
And you know what they say, Alex, cool men never look back at explosions, they just walk away. bit like me in the bathroom.
Thanks for that, Yusuf.
Honestly, I don't know what I want to call that car. I kind of wish I'd never seen it. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of Japanese inspiration on the roof of the car's going completely sideways with the this Simca. That was a bit bumpy and a bit of a code brown going into the apex there, but I don't know what to call this. I would call this the minty choc chip limoncello variety of a Simca prototype.
I call it the burn it with fire livery.
Well, on the roof, yes. On the roof, yes.
No, I didn't just take the car and burn it with fire. Throw it in the garage. Yeah. Done with it.
That's one way of putting it. We didn't start the fire, he did.
Yeah. Honestly, that's just like you got a blue background and then someone squirted like a yellow paint bottle and then squirted a red paint bottle on top.
It's sort of like a makeshift BMW art car, only it's a Simca. And someone's got it completely wrong.
Possibly.
Yes. Yeah,
Ooh.
double A's. And, style points are across the finish line there for the 48.
That is Jürgen Dies finishing 9th. Oh, as there comes the other car following past, managing to keep it on the road, which means that it is only this man, Pablo Suarez, in the Corrado R, the only member left to complete their lap. But maybe he has found rocket boosters and he can find all the time back in the final sector.
Warp speed, Mr. Sulu, is all I'm going to say on that one. Bit of a Star Trek reference there for those people that know.
I mean, just look how planted that Volkswagen is. Like, it's not even coming off the ground over the bumps. It's just beautiful, smooth. You can be flat out and it'll just stick. It's a blue tack car.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, it's not Pablo Suarez's best lap. And it will get him ahead of Helmut Harrer. Not by much. But, yeah. Nice.
Cool.
Do we know who won?
That's the beauty of HillClimb, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, this gives us a welcome opportunity because it is the beginning of the week for the opening round of the GTR 24H 2022 Endurance E-Racing World Championship, where we will be broadcasting live from the studio in Denmark. That's where I'm going to be flying tomorrow, so I will be catching up with Mr. Munkholm tomorrow morning when I land at Billund Airport, and then... it's going to be a great season. And actually, shall we have a bit of a talk about that whilst we've got the opportunity, chaps, just to give our friends at the HillClimb something interesting if they want to catch up with all the action this weekend. We've got split qualifying, we've got official free practice, and then we've got 12 hours of Matsusaka. I mean, Yusuf, let's go to you first. We've got a whole host of different cars coming in, GTE, LMP2, DPI returns for the season, and also quite a plethora in GT3 as well. We've seen some of the liveries, and there are a couple of favourites, I think, from my perspective. Teleforingen in the 188 have gone with the BMW M6 this season, and it's no longer bright red or bright orange on its own. ID SimSport are returning with an Aston Martin. We've now got an association happening in GTE. Now, Musto GD Esports, all of you might know, have now signed an alliance, and the team is now known as MPE. They're coming in with 2 Porsches. And funny enough, it was Eros Mascioli that got in touch and said, well, we're looking to join with Musto, join forces. And, I mean, the grid's looking great, isn't it, for Matsusaka, Yusuf?
Yeah, and I always say before each season where I think the action's going to be, and I usually go for the GTE class, but I'm taking it all back. I'm firmly on the LMP2 hype train. Deuces, Mugen, DEAC Hackers, these three teams are going to be rivals for the year, and I can't wait to see them duking it out because they were bumper to bumper, side to side throughout last year, and I'm super excited for the LMP2 class this year.
I think also when you look at the GTE field, 60% have switched to Weissach. They've gone to Porsche. So it is going to be a proper Porsche fest. Juice's Motorsport Club, actually, the Academy car, as Nick Newcomb always calls it. Good evening, Nick. Hope you're keeping well and hope the team are right. The Academy car, they've switched from Porsche. They've gone with Aston Martin. And also, there's been a few changes up and down the field. LMP2, Mugen Sim Racing opting to do a GTE and a GT3 program this season. And also, we've got a few new additions in terms of GT3. Unison Racing are now because they took the championship last year from Mugen. They've gone to GTE with the big beast that is the BMW M8, and you and I have had a look at their livery, haven't we? The anime livery.
Yes, it's actually the only EWC livery that I've seen so far this year. So yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the others, but it has anime, so it is a winner for me. It's a 10 out of 10, and nothing will stop that from ever being the case.
The funny thing is that we are having Axel Sports, now known as Sem9 Axel, championed by one Mr. Alex Young. They now have a two-team entry, or two-car entry. That's what's been happening for EEWC. We keep the teams to have two cars at most. It means we get a bit more variety. Team Viaduct in the back, and I've seen their livery for this year. There is no more orange fin. There is no more white unibody. And we have to say a big thank you to our big boss, the man that steers the ship, Mr. John Fabricius, has been working on their skin to give them a bit of a good look. Team Adrenaline are back for this season in the number 33, Unison Racing in the 17, and two-time GTR 24H Nürburgring Nordschleife champions Burst Esports have joined the championship, and it's going to be rather exciting because we have a DPI car. We also have an LMP2 car. We do have Jerne Simoncic and Michi Hoyer in that squad as well. A couple of real life side of things apart from Alex Young. Most people might know in the real life world that there's a Canadian racer who's a Works Mercedes AMG driver, Daniel Murad. Muradness E-Stars are jumping in the DPI class. And when I tell you that we have the likes of Yimi Nisula and Henry Cynic in that team, that's going to be a bit of a belter. There have been a few developments. Turn Lawyer from the Netherlands now has switched, and he's now running a new team, Team Iris. The livery on that, Yusuf, John has given me so many screenshots on my WhatsApp. It's like a Christmas tree at the moment. But Turn Lower will be one of the multiple drivers. We've got Loic Meunier, Bence Horvath as well, who's been running the championship before. Akos Forgas. We've got Sian Butler from Australia joining fellow countryman Josh Perwin in the LMP2 entry for Sem9 Axel. And Juice's Motorsport Club, Robert Pawn, Rui Reis, and Saba Kiss are the three drivers in the number 15 car that narrowly missed out on the LMP2 championship at the Le Mans finale. 1 point. That was all it was. 1 point. But they decided
1 point or one brake failure.
I have to feel sorry for Turn Lower that time. I mean, I remember when the heavens opened at the Le Mans finale. Satellite Racing have come in with two cars, one in LMP2 and one in GTE. And there's
GTE car won as well at Le Mans.
They did. Well, we had your favourite Finn, Pauli Ahonen, behind the wheel, didn't we?
Yes. Oh yeah, he went over to Satellite from Volante. Yeah. See, there's so much stuff that's coming this week.
And in that lineup, you've got You've got Adam State. Now, this is in the 264. We're seeing the C8 Corvette come in with a couple of teams. Which is really, really good. And also, we're going to have the official free practice this coming Thursday, the 24th of February at 8 p.m. Central European time. We're going to have 2-stage qualifying as always, one daytime, one nighttime. Then we go once around the clock for the 12 hours of Matsusaka. I think, Peter, if memory serves me correctly, 2 p.m. Central European time on Saturday afternoon, aren't we?
Yeah, it is. And if you want to go through the lineups and have a bit of fun yourself, there's the brand new manager game as well. So if you go to manager.gtr24h.org, there's an entire manager game for you there to go and pick your own drivers. You can pick one driver from each team, from 3 teams in each class. You need to pick 12 drivers, all from different teams and from the 4 different classes respectively.
And now we have to say a big thank you to Zuki for coming on board. So we're now officially part of the Zuki sphere. There's going to be some tokens up for grab as well, Peter, I understand, if memory serves me correctly. Just refresh me on that one.
Yeah, I think the pool right now is I can't remember if it's 2 billion Suki coins or something like that, but
it's a lot.
It's quite a substantial amount, and it like Suki coins don't only represent a value in the Sukiverse. We can use them to build your own games, and it's sort of like a Roblox thing, if you know that, where you can use these in-game currency to build games and buy further functions and stuff like that. But they also are tied up with the Ethereum crypto
yes.
coins.
Yeah,
You can actually exchange them for Ethereum, and in that way use them in other platforms, or even get cash back for them as well. So there's lots of options with the Suki coins, and we are working on adding other prizes to that manager prize pool as well. But what that will be, we haven't decided yet. So that'll be a thing of excitement for people to look forward to.
Yeah, and Yusuf, one of the biggest things is that this year for the EWC, there's a combined prize pool of $150,000 US. It's going to be based not just on the results of the teams, but also the fact of getting interactive with their fans out there, involving themselves with us here at GTR24H. I know that with the likes of Michi Hoyer, very, very well known for streaming his point of view. I think the teams now have a really big incentive. And we've got some great races on the calendar. We've got Matsusaka coming up this week. So myself, you, and Kieran McGinley will be in the studio at Denmark. We will be joined by Chris Buxton at points during the race weekend. So he'll be joining me on qualifying 1. And then he'll also be doing part of the evening shift, the 12 hours of Matsusaka. But to be able to go back to the studios over in Denmark since the Le Mans finale, it's going to feel like old times again, isn't it?
Absolutely. Looking forward to going back, and we've got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of content that can be coming your way, a lot of time between the races. So make sure to stay tuned on the Twitter, GTR24H, where we're going to be posting all of our wonderful content. And that's going to be everything from driver interviews, maybe even to track guys. Who knows what is coming, because I've got a lot of time on my hands. So who knows what I'm going to be doing.
You'll be using those fingers to good use, as well as using there's a lot happening here at GTR24H. Of course, there was the big news that we did break that the Sprint Series Season 2 has been postponed. We will update you all via the relevant social media channels as to when that will resume. But the next round of that will be Silverstone. We'll hopefully have an answer within the next few weeks or so. But Yusuf, we want to make sure that we get a really, really good grid, and there are some great tracks left on the calendar, aren't there, in Sprint Series?
Yeah, and we don't really know fully yet what exactly is going to happen with the Sprint Series. There might be a slight change to the format. It might be a new calendar we drop down. But I think with the Assetto Corsa Competizione game, there are some fantastic tracks there. And to be honest, no matter what we pick, I think we'll have a good season. But don't worry, we'll pick the best tracks anyway. And it should be good fun to see how the season goes and to see what changes there are. We've already seen some fantastic battling, so hopefully we get a few more drivers on. It's going to be even better.
And Peter, talking on the broadcast side of things, hard work has been taking place behind the scenes, hasn't there, in GTR 24H HQ, hasn't there?
There's a lot of updates coming for the race. The entire live timing is about to be updated. All of our overlays, everything, all of it is updated and brand new, and there's new ways of showing you data and putting you in the cars with the drivers. All the radio channels are back up and running, so we are actually live on the GTR 24H radio channels. You can go and find all the team's radio channels at radio.gtr24h.org, where you'll be able to listen in on the team's communication. So when you're doing a sim race, it's like kind of a normal thing to have a TeamSpeak server set up where you got different channels for the different teams. And what we've done is we've put sort of a listening device into each of those channels, so you can select the channels and listen in on your favorite team's radio communication when you're watching the racing as well. That works on mobile phones and everything. All you need to do is just either download the playlist from the radio website or click the Listen Direct link. So that's how it works.
And funnily enough, Yusuf, I've been messaging with Kieran. He said, I'm good, looking forward to coming out. So we'll have three of us in the studio. We'll have Chris from over in the UK. But all in all, we're in a really good place to start the season with our Blue Riband Championship and get things underway at Matsusaka, aren't we?
Absolutely, and Matsusaka, great track, should get to see some really exciting action. I mean, it's a track that's been on the Formula 1 calendar for God knows how long. I can't remember when it was last off the calendar, so yeah, should be great. We've got a really big grid and it should be a lot of action. 12 hours means that we get to condense that action into a shorter race than a 24 hours, which means just more consistent action throughout the entire race. It's going to be a banger. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. CET for the race start.
Indeed. Well, that really wraps up things for coverage of the HillClimb Championship here on GTR 24H. Thank you very much for watching. If you do want to join us, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. And then we'll see you in the latter part of the evening for the official free practice session for the first round of the 2022 GTR 24H EEWC, the 12 hours of Matsusaka. So on behalf of all the team, it's good night for now. See you next time.
Nice.
The 2022 International HillClimb Cup Virtual Hauenstein Berg Rennen is presented in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Astig Sim Sport, ESTV, and Motorvision.tv.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
A 1v2 for the tournament. Pressure is on.
It may be insane.